Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of a Masquerade in the Woods. So yeah, I want to let you know that my partner is living with me now. Oh man. Yep. So things are going to be a little more lively here at Drakewing Gaming. So anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. Yeah, what about the unicorn? It's actually death. That's pretty cool and terrifying. Alright. Then the unicorn and the cat turn and walk away, disappearing behind the corner where the hallway splits. Lucas returns and takes a seat to my right. I scoot over slightly to give him some more room. He sighs and his leg starts bouncing. Nervous? I ask in a low voice. I pull my right paw out of my pocket and place it on his leg. The sleeve slides up to expose my bandaged wrist, so I quickly pull my left paw out to adjust it before anyone notices. Probably shouldn't do that. He snaps his gaze down at my paw, then up at me. The inside of his ear starts tinting crimson and his leg stops. It's just an appointment, right? Besides, I'm the one being treated. I retract my paw and put it back in my pocket. Sorry, it's not that. It's... He sighs, scanning the room. I don't do well with crowds. He scratches his arm, sinking into himself. He begins fiddling with the sleeve on his shirt. The lobby isn't all that crowded. A dozen people at most, all minding their own business. It'll be alright. I doubt anyone is going to Lucas? Uh-oh. Fuck! A booming voice to my left interrupts me. Oh, hello there. Chief of Police, damn. From one of the seats further down, a burly bull stands up and walks over, a wide smile on his lips. He stands at about the same height as Lucas, but a bit softer around the stomach. The uniform and the star pinned on his chest almost makes me recoil. Fuck! This is bad. Lucas stands up to greet him and is immediately pulled into a hug so tight it looks like it would snap anyone in half, other than Lucas. My God, been a while, hasn't it? How's the old man? The bull gives him a few hearty slaps on the back before pulling back. Lucas looks terrified. I can't blame him. He's the last person I was hoping would recognize us right now. Why did I have to say anything? Chief Coleman, what are you doing here? Lucas answers, trying to catch his breath. He knows the chief? Oh, please, call me Thomas. We've known each other long enough to discard the titles. I was just swinging by for the usual checkup. You know how it goes with age. The chief lets out a deep chuckle, then turns to me. I swallow. And who is this fellow you're with? Don't think I've seen you around before. He tilts his head curiously. I need to get out of here. This is Andy, just Andy. I answer, standing up to join them. My paws dug deep in the pocket of my hoodie. Well, Andy, looks like you've hit your head pretty bad there. He lifts a sizable paw to point at the bandage around my forehead. Yeah, I slipped. His eyes narrow. In the shower. I hold my breath as he keeps his gaze focused on me. My mind starts trying to calculate how fast I could make it out of the front door, but how quickly he'd be able to catch up with me. Or if there's a bathroom, and pray that it has a window I could slip out of. After a few seconds, he breaks out into a rumbling laugh and slaps my shoulder, almost buckling my knees under the force. Well, perhaps you could use one of those non-slip shower mats, eh? You have no idea, Chief. Bah, you'll survive. You're made of stronger stuff than that, no? Yes, sir. Good lad. Besides, blackmail is the best healthcare in the state. The mayor's made sure of that. The chief turns back to Lucas, who promptly straightens himself back up as if approached by a general. Did you hear that? Did you hear about the murder out at the blackmail factory? Lucas stiffens up completely, darting his eyes between me and the chief. I feel my own blood run cold. No? There was a murder? Yep, real shame, too. Old George was a decent man, he was. Either you're ignorant to who that rat really was, or you're acting it. Found him in the basement, strangled that poor son of a bitch. Lucas just nods, his eyes peeking a glance at me from time to time, his expression somewhere between panicked and sad. I can only hope he's sad because he knows what really happened, and now I have to stand here listening to a false retelling of it. But we'll get to the bottom of it. Won't rest easy till the noose is around the killer's neck myself. If you knew, would you strangle me right here on the spot? Is that the kind of man you are? Would you do what I did to George? He chuckles and punches Lucas in the shoulder. However light it might have been intended, he still manages to make him stumble. Mr. Coleman? A doe wearing a surgical mask and carrying a clipboard enters through the hallway, and I silently exhale a sigh of relief. Well, that's my cue. We've seen you around, Lucas, and good to meeting you, Andy. He stretches his paw out towards me with a smile, and without even thinking, I grab it. He grips my paw firmly and shakes it, causing my sleeve to roll up and reveal the bandages around my wrist. Out of panic, I pull my left paw out to pull it back down, only to realize my mistake once it's already out in the open. He stops. I stop. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Lucas's eyes go wide. Fuck! Uh-oh. Everything seems to fade. It's like, Neil, it is coffee time. Everything but him and his piercing stare. If he weren't holding my paw so tightly, I'd consider bolting straight out the doors. Maybe I could make for the tree line before he manages to catch up, or unholster his gun and get a shot off. Mr. Coleman, if you please. He stands unmoving for what feels like an eternity, looking at my bandaged fingers. His eyes slowly drift back up to meet mine, a rigid, serious expression across his face, and my veins feel like they're on fire. Then, he lets go of my paw and walks off. I immediately shove my paws back in my pocket, feeling the adrenaline pumping through my veins, making my forearms tingly. I just want to go home. Mr. Hayashi? I hear River's voice call out, but I can't move. This way, please. Lucas grabs my paw and starts pulling me toward the hallway. Past another nurse and doctor jogging into the room the unicorn and cat departed earlier, and into a small, sterile white room. Lucas pulls me over the paper-lined bed and sits me down. River closes the door and removes her face mask, setting the clipboard down on the sink and briskly walking over towards me. Did that hit to the head make you lose your short-term memory? Her eyebrows furrow as she stares me down. I specifically told you to stay away from the police. I feel the shock of it all turn to annoyance. Wasn't all this your idea? I thought you could blend in and out of hospital without making friends with the one person you shouldn't. She hisses through gritted teeth. I didn't exactly approach him to admit what I did. How are we supposed to know he was going to be here? It was your idea to come here in the first place. Had you not been stupid enough to walk into that sewer rat's house to begin with? He recognized me. Cody had nothing to do with it. Lucas, who up to this point had stayed silent, speaks up in a low voice. We both turn to him, standing near the corner, his eyes on the floor and a pained expression on his muzzle. Fuck! River turns and slams her fist on the counter behind her. The room falls silent, only filled with the high-pitched humming of the of harsh white lights above. I exhale, feeling my temper slowly cool back down. Does he know? I don't know. River turns her head in my direction, but not fully looking at me. Did he see your paw? I can't bring myself to answer. River just sighs and turns back to look down at the counter. He didn't mean to. It's all my fault, really. Lucas speaks barely above a whisper. He didn't mean to. It's all my fault, really. Lucas speaks barely above a whisper. I sigh. No, it's my fault. I shouldn't have shook his hand. You're both unbelievable. Some of that anger rises back up and I snap back at her. Why do you care, anyway? River snaps back around and lifts a finger to point at me. I couldn't give less of a shit about you, raccoon. She shifts to point at Lucas. But this idiot here is already wanted and now connected to you, and your dumbass might just have compromised him to the chief of police himself. But this is what he does, isn't it? He saves people. River doesn't respond. She just crosses her arms and looks at Lucas expectantly. I follow her gaze to the quiet canine in the corner. Right? Lucas shifts, looking away. You save people, right? You help them. I haven't, saved anyone before. That's why, when he found you tied to a pipe, he brought you to me. That mutt was fucking clueless. He doesn't know what he's doing. I didn't expect anyone to be there, so I panicked. And then you passed out, and I was scared you were dying. He's no vigilante. He's just a guy in a mask. Then what were you doing at the house? River opens a cabinet above the counter and pulls out some fresh bandages and a familiar bottle before setting them down next to me on the bed. One second, y'all. Coffee time. Lucas stays quiet, prompting Silver to answer in a deadpan tone, as if the answer is obvious. People have been going missing again. George was a suspect, so he thought it appropriate to march into his house guns blazing without telling anyone he was going. She grabs my paw and starts unwrapping it. There are others? How long has this been going on? A few months. But now that George is out of the picture, that's finally over. She presses what looks like a small napkin against the bottle's opening and tilts it. Has anyone else been found? River stops and meets my eyes. No. No one? She presses the wetted rag against my fingertips. I gasp and slam my free paw into the bed, shutting my eyes tight. The pain is just as bad as yesterday. I grab the bed so hard I feel my knuckles go white under the dark fur. Then I feel someone gently prod my paw from the metal and softly wrap theirs around it. My eyes open to those deep emerald irises, glistening ever so slightly. "I'm sorry," he whispers, giving my paw a gentle squeeze. "Hey, Miles?" "What's up, fag?" "There's someone I'd like you to meet." "Oh?" "Holy shit, he actually exists!" Shouldn't I exist?" "Yeah, well, you never know when Tiny comes running telling me he just got the best dick of his life." "Miles, please, you promised you'd..." "I'm just messing with you, Tiny. How's it going, my man?" Yo. I assume you're Miles? In the flesh. And you're Cody's brother. Stepbro, his dad fucks my mom." "Miles?" "I see. You promised you wouldn't embarrass me in front of my boyfriend." "I'm just teasing, you know that." "Hey, I don't mind. You're adorable when you're flustered." "Oh, shush." "Anyway, I bought a deck of cards and some vodka. You guys up for some poker?" Well, that sounds cool. Though the playing of the cards is going to be directly interrupted by the consumption of vodka. Peace. Finally, some fucking peace. I really needed this. "You're such a pathetic piece of shit, Cody. You incompetent fucking idiot. You'd been better if you just stayed in that basement and let that rat kill you. Then you wouldn't have been so stupid as to reveal yourself to the one person you absolutely shouldn't have." Maybe Eric was right. Just don't get up. Breathing out. Breathe out. Open your mouth and just inhale. Get it over with now and you won't have the chance to fuck anything else up. I raise my head out of the sink and feel the water run down my face, breaking the surface that separates my safe world from this strange, new, chaotic one. "Is, everything okay?" I reach for a towel and dry my face off. "Yeah, I was just washing my face." "Oh, okay." I'm really sorry about..." "No." I sigh, hanging the towel back up, fur still damp. "No, Lucas, you did nothing wrong. I was the one who fucked up." Grab the bandage on the side of the sink and start untying the knot still left on it, having taken it off in a hurry as soon as we got back. Alright, second L. Coffee time. Lucas closes his eyes and bites his lip, his voice low. "I should have known he could have been there." Stepping up to him, I put my paw on his arm. "You couldn't have known, Lou. It was just..." I smile up at him reassuringly, gently rubbing his forearm. "Bad fucking luck is all." "Now come on, we should probably get going." Lucas nods as we walk back out in the living room. A duffel bag stands on the table in the kitchen, with Lucas's mask peeking out of the opening. "You want some help with those?" I follow Lucas's gaze to the bundle of bandages still in my paw. "Oh, yeah, if you want." He smiles timidly and nods, pulling out a chair for me. I hand it over and sit down, while the big dog takes the seat opposite me and undoes the last knot on the gauze. I don't want to sound rude, but..." I quirk a brow and chuckle. "But?" His big paws carefully start wrapping the bandage back around my head. He moves slowly, his thick fingers and blunt claws delicately fiddling the cloth into place. "But, do you remember anything else from before?" "Can I really tell you the truth? Would you think I'm crazy?" "Not much, honestly. Can't tell you I used to be human. Would you even know what that is? And as for how I ended up here to begin with, or what happened just before, I barely know myself. I remember my apartment. I think I remember having an argument with someone. Pretty sure I remember running away. But other than that, I'm still just drawing blanks." He leans in closer, using his claws to stuff the bandage back under itself to fasten it. His breath tickles my nose and my whiskers twitch in response. My face reddens and I swallow to push the blush back down. Lost in focus, his tongue peeks out over his lip and his eyes narrow. For being such a large canine, he's incredibly gentle. And kind of sweet. And kind of goofy looking with his tongue out like that. Once he gets it in place, his eyes look down and meet mine. He quickly pulls back, clearing his throat and clasping his paws together in his lap. "Sorry, is it too tight?" I smile back at him, trying my best not to let my own blush show. No, it's good. A shy grin creeps up his muzzle as I lift my paw up to the wrappings. Does it, still hurt? I shake my head. Nah, not really. You sure? I think I might have some painkillers if it gets bad in the future. I smirk. From River? Yeah, from River. I'll keep that in mind. We get back up and prepare to leave. Lucas packs a couple more things, including the rifle, and then we make our way outside to his car. We drive for about 15 minutes on the forest roads until we reach the old rundown warehouse just outside town. Graffiti covers parts of the exterior along with several pieces of sheet metal haphazardly stuck to the brick walls. Me and Miles used to go exploring the old abandoned buildings outside of town back when we were younger. There wasn't much to find outside of rusting machinery and rotting furniture. He always tried to scare me by telling me something horrible had happened to the buildings we were exploring. Work accidents, murders, suicides. I always told him it didn't faze me, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't on some level. Lucas slows down and parks on the side of the road opposite the house. I stretch as I step out onto the wet grass. The sun is just setting over the horizon and the temperature has cooled significantly. It wasn't exactly hot earlier, but now it's borderline freezing. I'm glad I got this hoodie on at least. Nope. Alright guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!